Have you ever walked down the street, deep in thought, when the sudden smell of hot oil and salt stops you in your tracks? In that split second, your conscious thinking pauses, and a deeply wired physical reaction takes over. That instinct, the way a physical response can instantly override deliberate thought, is the exact mechanism you need to tap into to generate millions of views on YouTube without ever stepping in front of a camera. Every person watching a screen processes information in two distinct phases. First, there is a lightning-fast emotional reactor that responds instantly to visual cues. Then there is a much slower, deliberate logical decider that takes time to think things through. You can create an image that perfectly grabs that fast, emotional side of the brain, but if the platform's artificial intelligence doesn't recommend the video in the first place, no human will ever have the chance to click on it. To build an audience today, you must navigate both systems at the exact same time. You need to trigger the human viewer's emotional impulses while giving the platform's robot brain exactly what it needs to categorize your content. When you design a thumbnail, your primary goal is to forcefully interrupt someone who is scrolling fast on their phone. To do that, the image must communicate exactly one clear feeling, like pure curiosity, or deep fear, or sheer excitement. If you try to cram surprise, danger, and happiness into a single image, you overload that fast-reacting part of the brain. When confused by conflicting signals, the brain ignores the image and the viewer keeps scrolling. Once you do successfully stop their thumb, the slower, logical part of the brain wakes up. It immediately looks at your video's title to evaluate the context, deciding if clicking will actually reward their time. A successful video always passes both of these checks. It hits the emotional reflex to capture attention, and it provides enough logical credibility to earn the final click. But capturing human attention is only half the process. YouTube recently updated its entire architecture, moving completely away from a traditional search engine to become an AI-driven engine that attempts to answer user questions directly. Because of this, the algorithm now aggressively scans the early portions of your video to understand its value. You have to explicitly state specific facts, dates, and numbers in the first 30 seconds, giving the AI concrete data to index and recommend. The platform is also actively tracking exactly how your content is made. They now use a technology called SynthID, an invisible digital watermark deployed across the internet that automatically detects if your media was generated by artificial intelligence. If you rely on software to generate voiceovers for your scripts, you are required to declare that during the upload process. Failing to check that box means the system will catch the watermark and penalize or even delete your channel. YouTube considers this a mandatory survival trait for faceless creators. You must be completely honest about how your videos are made to keep your channel in good standing. Once you know how to satisfy the human eye and follow the AI's rules, the final barrier to scaling your revenue is simply how often you can publish. This chart shows the stark difference in publishing volume on the platform. An average creator usually manages about 7 uploads a month. Meanwhile, top-performing automated channels are pushing out up to 22 videos in that exact same window. A human sitting at a computer, manually cutting clips and syncing audio, cannot physically keep up with that level of output without burning out. Instead of editing by hand, you can use a digital assembly line to handle the heavy lifting. This is a system where code automatically takes your raw text script, adds the voiceover, and syncs up the captions all on its own, without you ever having to open an editing program. By setting up this kind of automated production, one person working from a laptop can produce the exact same volume of content as a 50-person production team. Standing out in today's attention economy requires constant uploading. The algorithm favors frequency, and an automated system is the most reliable way to maintain that aggressive pace. There is one last hurdle. Pumping out this much automated content can make your channel look like a spam farm to the platform's security filters, unless you prove you are a legitimate business. The strongest signal of authority you can send to the algorithm is maintaining an active, verified presence completely outside of the video platform itself. Start by sharing your thumbnail art on image-based search websites. Putting your work in more places helps your content show up in more search results across the web, proving to the system that your brand is active and legitimate. Next, you take the written transcripts of your videos and format them into readable articles on established blogging networks. This gives search crawlers text to read, further verifying that your brand produces real value. Finally, you connect all of these social pages and blog profiles directly back to your channel. This creates a traceable web of trust that proves your identity to the algorithm. By capturing the viewer's emotional reflex, feeding the algorithm hard facts early, automating your production pipeline, and linking it all into an interconnected brand, you can build a highly profitable media business entirely behind the scenes.